Hey family, what's going on out there? Come on in and take a ride with me. So I'm going to start off by saying this. Be sure to leave a comment so that we can get some dialogue going, get another great discussion going. This is talking about internal and external training. So for those of you who do not know, Tai Chi is actually known for being an internal art, at least according to my teachings. So I would say arts like karate, Muay Thai, those are external art forms. Now, external art forms can definitely have some internal training involved, don't get me wrong. But what I'm stressing is they're not focused primarily on internal training. You see, I say this to say that. A lot of Tai Chi people have turned into external practitioners. In other words, they're focusing more on the external than the internal. Because for me, when we talk internal, I'm talking about our innate abilities. These are the abilities that we were actually born with. They don't require us to pump weights or to lift iron. They don't require us to do things of that sort. They require us to use more of our mind, more meditative flow, a lot less of the physical things that people seem to stress on these days. So we say we must become form, which means physical, and then form leads to no form or becoming formless. So once you become truly formless, you have tuned in to what we call meditative flow. Now, once you're able to get your meditative flow, now you're ready to begin to grow on an internal scale, because now you begin to develop what notoriously continues to go across the globe in regards to Tai Chi, which is Jin power. Power. Internal power. So the energy is stored over a time, some people faster than others. We store that energy in lower dantian. And once we're able to have an abundant amount of energy there, we learn how to transfer that energy for healing and for martial arts. So I say to you, what are innate abilities? I'll tell you what, I'll name one or two. So we're talking about higher consciousness, the ability to feel. Tai Chi is also known for developing our levels of sensitivity. I like to say that we begin to resharpen our tools because society as it is today has dulled our tools. Now, what are our tools? Well, it's quite simple. We have 5 senses that are associated inside of our human being and more. So how do we develop those 5 senses? The sense to hear, smell, taste, the sense of touch, the sense of being touched. How do we develop higher level consciousness, like intuitive abilities? So Temple Tai Chi is based on a simple system. And notice I said simple because the more advanced, the more simple. It's not the way that people think it is. I'll say it again. The more advanced practices are very, very simple. Simple, but not necessarily very, very easy either. So by being difficult, they're not physically challenging. May or may not be. But usually the mind training is a lot more difficult for most people. So people tend to run away from that because they're not good at it. We tend to clinch on to things that we're good at. That's just our nature. We have to learn to let go. We have to learn to let go and get out of that position of comfort and step into what we call Dao Gong training. Dao Gong. So Gong, G-O-N-G, means work. So we have to put in the work, working the Tao, how to connect with Tao, how to connect self with the universal self. These are the internal practices that I've been learning through the Temple Tai Chi set. And I want to share them with you as well, family. So, as I said earlier, let's have a discussion. Leave a message in the chat. Let's get some dialogue going. Let's exchange some practices. Also, be sure to enroll into my Patreon. It's free, by the way. I'm always posting things in there that I don't post on other websites. So it's exclusive to Patreon. We're building a Tai Chi family there. And by Tai Chi, I don't mean you have to physically do Tai Chi forms. There's lots of practices that everybody can take into their life. So once again, tune in to Tai Chi 360s, whether it's on Facebook or Patreon. And Sifu Lester is checking in and also checking out. And once again, family, thank you. Thank you for being you, because we're all unique. And once again, I'm out. Peace, internal and external. Leave a comment.